What is good, everyone, and welcome back to the Nostalgia Social Podcast. My name is Taylor, aka Nostalgia. Joining me is As Told by Zoe. What's good, my guy?
Hello, princess.
No! No! I was waiting for what type of intro you'd have, and now I feel evil presences. Horrible.
Hello, kitten.
Jesus Christ.
I'll be honest, kitten. Daddy's gonna kill himself.
Also joining me is Kay Likes Everything. How are you doing today?
Hi.
Exactly.
Only in response. I was not planning to do that.
Exactly.
But, you know, game recognizes game.
What is the fucking phrase? Konichi wagwan, mina slabs. Konichi wagwan.
Oh my lord.
Oh man. Alright, so if you can't tell by our really awful American and Japanese mixture of speech, today we have a pretty interesting episode today. Today we're talking about the old YouTube web series. We're talking about a really old and popular web series called 2Kawaii4Comfort. This is a show that came out 8 years ago on YouTube, and it kind of talks about like con culture and anime fans and that kind of time period, and it just kind of is it's like a dramedy look into a really bad trip to a anime convention.
Feels like yesterday. Like the early 2000s con culture is so different from what it is now.
Man.
As the only serial conner here.
Yes, as the only serial conner in the group. And it's just one of the things where me and Zoe pitched this to Kayla, and Kayla goes, her first thought, what in the fresh hell is this?
Yeah.
Which is great. And
verbatim.
Goes, oh, this show is going to ruin me.
and you know what?
It might hit close to home.
I just call me a prophet, the way I saw today in my mind. And the way that I am depressed. I'm very sad at the end of this. I thought it was going to be silly, hee ha ha. How did you know it was going to be sad?
No. So,
no.
Just as a little, so I saw the trailer on Twitter recently and sent it to Taylor, and I was like, we have to show this to Kayla. That was my first thought. I had never heard of this. Surprisingly enough, as Mr. Internet Deep Dive here, never in my life have I heard of this. But I was like, okay, I feel like since this is having like a little resurgence, and Taylor found out that they're going to be making new episodes soon, it'd be fun to review this and review this on the podcast. And a lot of the reviews that they put in the trailer were like, so cringe, it's funny, ha, blah blah. And it is cringe. It gets a little too real.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
Yeah.
It is such a bleak and depressing show that honestly does not end on a happy note.
Not even
close. Not at all.
So before we really get into like the main review and stuff like that, I did want to kind of talk about like the perfect storm that came about with this episode, because a Twitter account called Retro Anime, funny enough, posted a video of a anime con, or like people like handheld videos or camcorder shots of people at an anime con in the early 2000s. And I can send you the tweet, Kayla, if you need me to.
Yes,
if
please.
you want to take a look at it. Okay. I think I bookmarked it. But basically, it's showing all these people in like cosplay and doing a bunch of like fun stuff at these cons like that early 2000s, and it's really, really interesting to see.
Right.
Like people were kind of chiming in on that kind of stuff. And then they were also like talking about the origins of anime and what like where things kind of popped off, or like when the beginnings of people thinking anime became mainstream started and stuff like that. And
got the message. I got a text. Right.
Yes.
Oh,
So it's like, yeah. Yeah.
guys, I was just here, bro. I look at these photos and just like the color of the video, like whatever the technology that we had just a few years ago, and I'm there.
Taylor and I were
Not
even 10.
No, you were whispers. You were whispers in your mother's eye. Oh my god! It's the thing is that I see these people. Okay, sorry. You may continue, but this, I think the reason why this little series hit me so hard is because I have dealt with people just like this at a very close proximity. Like, to the T. Worried about friends' lives as well, or people that I knew.
Yeah.
To the same degree. So
Yeah.
like, when it was over, I was like, oh, I can't access the second half now, which is what I thought. I was trying to like catch up to all 6 episodes, because you're like, oh, the first season's out, and I'm like, oh, I'll be able to see the next one, and now I can't see the next one. And now these people are just dangling in my mind space.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of like get into, because obviously we've talked about like our anime origins on this podcast before. Mine, like I'm like in the middle point between you and Kayla, you and Zoe. Zoe's the one that kind of started like relatively early, but you've been in the trenches for a long time, and so it's like you see a video like that with the con dances and people dressing up, and like the people, it just seemed like it was a lot more genuine, or like just a lot more just niche at the time with these cosplays and people enjoying like the con culture and stuff like that. Would I be wrong in that in saying that at all?
No, you're right. I think that what's happened is what's happening to everything nowadays, which is everyone is trying to monetize what they do. So back in the day when you would go to conventions, a lot of people did original characters, or they were making their fan base characters, and yes, there were always people who were exemplary at creating cosplay, because there have always been like contests where you could like make money and like live off that hobby. But now conventions feel, at least a lot of big anime conventions, just feel like a new way for capitalism to like sneak in and ruin everything. Because back then, like I would go and I would it was, we were cringe, but we were free. So like, yes, someone made really tacky stickers, and someone made like all these like keychains, and so like, you know, the artist alley was always there. But like the cosplay culture itself was like, or I guess like the culture of the cons in general, we're just like, we're all weirdos. We're all ostracized by society to a certain degree. This is not like a pity party, but it's like, we like the stuff that no one else likes, and we can only find that stuff here because Amazon wasn't that big of a thing yet. It was still like relatively new. Like
Just
there wasn't
books.
Prime. It was really, it wasn't as big as it is now. So you can't just like at the dime of a hat go, oh, I'm gonna copy this character. You had to like go and like find someone who could make your wig, or make, like, it just wasn't as accessible. Also, I was young and had no money, right? Like I was just a child. So I remember getting into the getup of like Rosin Maiden in this like pink doll frill dress with a botched wig, but I had a phenomenal time. I didn't know how to do my makeup. No. Did I go and do a lunch, an anime lunch at a park in public with soccer players around and talk to people like, "Hi, One-chan"? Like, is that how I was?
Oh
Yeah.
God, Kayla.
I'm telling you, you guys have only scratched the surface of how weird I used to be. But the thing is that I was able to be between two worlds because I still had a foot in reality and I could still talk.
You could turn it off.
I could turn it off. I knew how to turn it off.
Yeah.
But I had people who were obsessed with me that weren't big anime fans, that were trying to be anime fans, and they'd be like, "You're so kawaii desu ne," and I'd be like, "Yeah, I am. Thanks." Andre's dying. He's getting secondhand. Andre's having secondhand embarrassment. But like, the friends that I had at the time were good. I'd still be friends with them now, if not for other deciding factors. But I outside things. But I enjoyed being that weird and that cringy, and I miss how free we used to be able to be. At conventions, obviously there are a lot more rules now because people always take things too far, and that's what this show felt like to me. Like back in the day, for those of you who didn't go to early conventions, there used to be a thing called the yaoi paddle that was basically a person would walk around with a paddle they made, and you would pay them money, and they'd spank you with it. And this was just happening around the floor. And some people were really funny about it. And they'd be like, and they'd have like their little anime characters. A lot of Sasunaru back in the days getting spanked together, right? Uh-huh. But then also you'd have people who would be too young to be holding a yaoi paddle. And then con goers who were too old to be asking too young people to spank them with said paddle. And there were no regulations on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then we get to the whole thing where like they were at a hotel. The last thing I'll say about old con culture, a lot of cons you stay at a hotel, and typically if you're lucky and you have the money, you get to stay at the hotel that the con is being made at. So everything is there and it's easy. I've never been able to do that because it always sells out. But con culture, the hotel culture specifically, is really bad if you are too young and your parents are letting you go without adult supervision. Because what ends up happening, and how people have gotten arrested and not allowed anymore in conventions, even though they'll try. The most recent guy is the one who always dressed up like Zenitsu from Demon Slayer. He jumps girls all the time and has taken several minors, unfortunately, back to his room without their consent, or even with their consent, but it's not even because they're too young to give consent. So it doesn't matter. He's not allowed in convention anymore, but back then there were no regulations because they weren't checking. They weren't trying to make sure if you were...
There's no regulations on safety and stuff like that.
On safety, and not at all. And now there's like 21 and over badges. There's younger badges, and if someone sees you walking around with a young badge and an old badge, it's the con's responsibility to go up to you and be like, "Hey, what are you doing? That's a minor. You're long gone." Which is what I was thought that was going to happen at one of these episodes, because one of them gave me that vibe. But anywho, con culture of yesteryear had its very good moments, got ruined because of social media and like getting too big a little bit, but it's also saved a lot of people. So my rant's over. I derailed there.
No. I think it's kind of necessary to talk about in terms of like, what 2Kawaii4Comfort is supposed to kind of be,
and bring up.
Yeah, and so like, I mean, me and Zoe have been to 3 con with SuperCon twice and DreamCon once.
Yeah.
And to varying levels of enjoyment level. I
mean,
so it's like
DreamCon is interesting because I think we had a great time.
Yeah.
DreamCon, Austin, Texas, one of my favorite cities.
That's the one you guys
ever.
dressed up, right? You guys dressed up at that convention?
No, second SuperCon.
Oh,
no,
okay.
we dressed up for SuperCon. But the thing is, DreamCon's interesting because it is that new style of SuperCon is a little bit more like the old school cons. DreamCon
Yes.
is very much more a YouTuber convention.
Right.
Which these YouTubers have an audience, and they like anime, and they're very prominent about liking anime and how anime's inspired them. But that doesn't always translate to the audience. And what happened when we went to DreamCon was there were some nights where people were just acting a fool because they were trying to get some play. That happens. I've also noticed that happens at a lot of conventions. That there's a very famous story of Rainforest, the first ever furry convention in America or some shit like that has never happened again because, you know, like Kayla said, people take it a little too far. They're the regular furries that are like, hey, this is who I am, and I just want to be free. And then there are other ones where apparently there were furries plus, I forgot the other word, diaper wearers. And then,
and that is still a thing. And you are allowed in conventions in there, but they will kick you out if you're dinky.
Exactly. So it's the thing is like when people were stinky and the hotel had to kick people out, and then the show tackles this a little bit where it's not necessarily that they're a bad person, it's just that they don't know how to be a human. So then what happened in Rainforest was that, like, bro, these people were like throwing orgies. And the hotel couldn't handle it. So that's like the other side of like the old school con scene that I just find very interesting, because again, it's not what this show talks about. They're not necessarily bad people. They're just lost, and it's kind of sad.
Well, what we've noticed too is that, so back in the day, there used to be so much more. Okay, again, less things were monetized, right? So back in the day, maid cafes used to be open to the public at a convention. So it was people who were like, we love the maid cafe culture. And so you can come in and you pay for food like regular. What would happen? There would be people there who would become obsessed with certain maids, and then they would stay there from the beginning to the end of the con and stalk people. They would end up trying to buy out tables, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, like, it always breaks down of, like, this is a really good thing. And now we have to add restrictions, and now we have to add more restrictions, and I think one of the last things was at the maid cafe, you could look into it, but not have to eat. And now they don't allow that either. Now there's always walls, and you have to have a ticket to get in. And then that ticket allows you to get food, but you can't ask for extra food. Like, you cannot overstay your time. Like, you have 30 minutes, and then you gotta bounce. Same thing with the way that they used to do, like, the contests. We have new rules now where people are buying their costumes that they made from creators, and you can tell that creator's style. So they keep having to add more and more restrictions on, like, this cannot be a piece that's been prefabricated. It cannot have been owned by a different one. If it's won a contest somewhere, you will get kicked out and never allowed back in, and et cetera, et cetera. So, like, it's always a good thing being stripped away of all of its parts, and it's still good. Like, cons are still good. I would still say for those people, like, I know we're about to get into, like, talking about these episodes. Conventions are still good. They are still fun, and it is still worth it to meet new people, because not everyone is bad.
Correct. Yeah.
And a lot of people there are looking for community, and they don't know how. It's a lot of people typically that I meet have a lot of social anxiety. So when you compliment them on their cosplay or ask to take a photo, you have changed their day. It changes mine when I'm in a costume and someone, like the last one I went to, I dressed as Fat Gum, and someone was like, "Oh, I want to be Fat Gum next time. Can I take a photo with you and we could, share references?" And I was like, "For sure." Things like that are really fun because you bond with people, you make, new experiences and new memories. And then you have the other people that end up making it feel like a scary, not safe place.
Mm-hmm. And it's
and uncomfortable.
It's a weird parabola of the people who don't know what they're doing, the nice regular people, and then the people who know what they're doing and do it on purpose.
Yeah.
This is such an interesting. This series can only live on YouTube. This cannot. This could not have been made by Netflix or Disney or Amazon or anything like that because they wouldn't understand. This is a wholly original idea. It's really interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one of the episodes, they had to censor it for YouTube. Like the full actual episode is on, I think it's episode 4. Episode 4 is the actual one is on Vimeo. Like they couldn't put.
I don't think
there's a disclaimer in the play. If you look at the playlist, there's a disclaimer. It's like, hey, episode 4, which is Toki's episode, we can't show everything that we did, so we have to put this one on Vimeo. The edited or cut down version is on YouTube for the sake of the playlist. And I'm like, and
did you guys see that one? I did not.
After seeing the first, I saw the little thing. After seeing the first 3 episodes, that little disclaimer made 100% sense.
Oh, right. But I'm saying, did you go to Vimeo? Did you and you watch the full one? Okay, I only saw the YouTube version.
After watching Toki's episode, I was like, I don't want to do that.
That's the thing.
No.
The episode that's on YouTube is still nuts.
It's already a lot. It's still nuts. So for a second there, I was texting the group, and I was going man, I feel bad for Toki because I knew a girl just like her up until that point, and I went, ooh. I no longer feel this spiritual connection. Cause girl, in a shared room, and you didn't lock the door? Freak to freak, you can't do that.
Right, we can't. Let's circle back to her, cause I do want to get into that part. But as far as initial thoughts, we kind of started talking about initial thoughts a little bit with con culture and stuff. I can start with this one because it's just been sitting on my mind ever since I finished the show. This web series is like BoJack Horseman and Neon Genesis Evangelion came together and created a show. Because you take the dramedy aspect of BoJack Horseman, where it's it's supposed to be a funny comedy that out of nowhere will hit you with a crazy gut punch of something when it comes with either emotional weight or sadness or existentialism, something. But it's supposed to be funny, and it's those moments that are really funny that turn really sad, or really weird pit in your stomach feel, or moments that are very heartwarming and immediately turn into something very, very funny. And then you get the situation, and I know it's Evangelion because of how some of the characters are portrayed. And I know they have Evangelion references in the episodes, Toki at the end of the episode with Toki, where you see what she's doing and Spencer walks in. That's the end of the episode, and Zoe remembers this too. There is a phrase.
He says, "How disgusting."
From the end of Evangelion, it says, "How disgusting."
Yep.
That's from Evangelion.
Ah, okay.
And the end card at the very end of the show, after you see what happened to
the
Mari,
end of 2Comfort for Kawaii.
2Kawaii4Comfort, and then you are definitely in parentheses alone. That's the title cards for a lot of Evangelion episodes.
Yeah.
I just feel some of the characters, especially Rita and even Spencer too, just kind of embody a lot of some of the characters that you come across in Evangelion. And then I'll get to
Rita's Asuka.
I'm gonna.
Oh,
I'm cooking. Look, we're gonna get to Rita in a second. Let me cook on that one, because that's crazy.
Yeah,
I have this whole little thing.
Wow.
But so you take the dramedy aspect of BoJack Horseman, and you take some of the character elements from Evangelion, and you put it in like a commentary on con culture, and this is the result you get. And I genuinely think it's one of the best things I've seen. Period. I think it's an amazing 8 episodes. I can't wait to see what they do with the new ones.
Right.
Whenever that comes out.
And Toki being Ray, it kind of also makes sense. I don't know about Randy, but
bro, okay. Let's get into we'll go initial thoughts and then
okay.
Give me a second. Yeah, get initial thoughts. Zoe, do you want to start? Because you were the last one to finish the episodes.
Sure. Yeah, I just finished and then called you guys. Weirdly depressing. I could not believe how the first episode ended. I guess spoilers for anyone. Go watch the show first, I guess, and then come back.
Yeah.
The first episode ending with that car crash and then Mari's in the hospital, I was like, what the fuck? And then, like I was saying, Spencer and Toki, which her real name is Kristen, like I said, they're not bad people. They're just lost. And neither is Rita.
Yeah.
She even has her little episode where she's like, I'm not a bad kid. And yeah, she's sick. Yeah. Randy, on the other hand, is not my favorite character, but that was my favorite episode because it is such an interesting look at, again, he's not Anton Chigurh evil bad person, but he's still kind of an asshole. No, and doesn't understand. It's very much the typical weirdo who doesn't understand how to properly speak to women and doesn't really understand consent. We all know that person at a convention, and he's also, for you internet lore heads, he's dressed like Christian, and he has the fucking chain like Christian.
Oh,
he's dressed like Christian. Wow.
I didn't catch that. I only know of him through you, really, because I avoided that.
Christian's famous iconography is the Sonichu chain. That's obviously clay and made at home. Randy has the Champ Randy chain. That's obviously clay and made at home. He's got the striped polo. That's a little too tight because his stomach shows through. It is that, I think that's like a 1-to-1 Christian parallel. And the way that episode ends, it's like he thinks just because this girl that he's interested in is in an open relationship, he goes in for a kiss, and she's like, what the fuck are you doing? Again, I think it brings up an interesting point where, is he a bad guy, or is he just not all there, basically? Go ahead.
Go ahead, Kayla.
Okay. So, as someone who has been stalked by people like this at conventions and just real life, it's so fun to live this way. So here's the thing. In conventions or in real life, with men in general who happen to have really low self-confidence, and you see that it started in his childhood when he took a girl to their little school dance. I think it's at 4th grade.
Yeah, with the little Undertale thing.
With the little Undertale vibe.
Crazy.
Which was great. So I don't know how to put this in a way. I don't want it to sound insulting. But boys are raised typically to have specific achievements. That's why video games are done a certain way. That's why life in a male-centered society is built off of leveling up, right? So when a guy is interested in a girl, there is an underlying expectation that girls do not understand, because the way that we're raised is for relationships with each other, right? So like girls are raised to make friends with many other girls because we're very interconnected, right? Again, all this typically. So when a guy at a young age is rejected and his whole worldview shifts, he either can talk to somebody about it and go, oh my God, this happened to me, and now I don't know how to feel about it because I thought if I did everything right, I was going to get what I wanted. And then he would understand that that person is in control of their own actions, whatever. Or they go, it couldn't be my fault. It's that person's fault. I'm just going to continue to do this until I get the desired reaction I want. I'm going to keep running through the fields, breaking clay pots until I reach the next level, even through mediocrity. So unfortunately, when I see a character like that, it's all too real to me.
Yes.
Because like men will straight up physically, emotionally, verbally harass you and then be like, I guess you wouldn't even like me though, sigh. I guess it's just me. Darn. And it's like, no, you need to change or no one's ever going to. It's not a confidence thing. It's not the way you look thing. It's you need to start seeing people like people, and then people will look at you. So that episode felt very, as a girl, I felt very like, this is my life, where the girl thought she was doing nothing wrong. She's like, I wanted to go as friends, and I thought we would have fun as friends. And you could tell the little animation of the girl is feeling more and more like bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he still tried to kiss her anyway.
Yeah. And then he ends up... Well, I mean, this is why I wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
Getting a different perspective. Like I said, it's just... That mindset is super interesting to me. And that mindset leads to a lot of the issues that we see online today.
Yes.
Clavicular, ASU frat leader... jester maxing, face mogging, all that bullshit can stem from low self-esteem and that whole shit where he pulls where it's like, you don't want to kiss me because I'm fat and gross, huh?
Right.
But also, like you said, the character of Randy is a little too real. I have been friends. Let's not say friends.
Randy.
Let's not say friends.
I've known people.
Known Randys in real life where where I'm a big you both know my parents. I've always been very nice to everybody, and in middle school and elementary school I took it upon myself to become friends with some of the kids that were picked on.
Yep.
Because I like superhero, I like cartoon, you know.
Yeah.
But then every once in a while, you get one that becomes obsessed with you, and with Kayla, it's different. But I bet Kayla has also experienced where like a straight cis woman has also become obsessed with you. Yeah. Like a straight cis man has become obsessed with me, and it's just and they are Randy. Where they do smell, and you know they do this weird shit, and they play their game a little too loud. Like everything that they were doing, I was like, "Oh my god, dude!" It's
a lack of self-awareness. At one point, it's that they're so caught up. Well, lack of self-awareness, and sometimes it's also like a lack of empathy, where it's like, well, at the end of the day, I'm gonna keep doing me, regardless. Like I'm gonna like when he was eating the cheese. And his friend, and I love that it was from a guy. It wasn't him trying to correct one of the girls. It was his name Steven? What's his name? Spencer. Spencer's like, hey man, the last time you ate all that cheese, you got sick. He's like, no, it's fine. It's fine this time. Yeah. And then direct consequence after
in
of
the
him
elevator.
Like literally gassing them in the elevator. But it's that some people refuse to be wrong. And they refuse to acknowledge the space around them. And you notice that all of them have this problem to a degree, because from the jump, they're all like, every time they're led to a decision that could make you more integrated in society, they're like, I don't want to do that. I want to do what I want to do, and I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah, it's
like
the people in this, all the characters in this show have social skill deficiencies in various areas.
Yes.
Like Randy's issue is just like he doesn't understand. Well, not doesn't understand, but like cannot face rejection and just feels like and just doesn't have the social skills to read the room. Like it's a funny but not funny part. Like the opening to, I don't know if it's to his episode or the opening to the second episode, where that couple's like crying because like
it's the second episode.
Something happened to their baby.
It's the second episode.
In the middle of their crying, all of a sudden you just hear double kill.
Die.
Jesus Christ, man.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, bro.
Yeah.
And then it's only when somebody says like, hey man, like, can you put
Spencer.
your headphones in? He like he doesn't even acknowledge the fact that he's just like, man, like whatever, I put the headphones in.
Right.
But it's still loud.
Yeah.
And it's like there's just no like social awareness and social skills with a lot of the people in this group specifically. It shows up in different ways. Like Toki is just has a lot of social anxiety in general.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of hard for her to like connect with people. And it's one of those things where it's like she tries to put herself out there. I want to talk about her episode specifically because where there's a Randy, there's also a Daniel. And Daniel is the one that she ends up linking up with after her anime dating game
it's a Randy
show.
with confidence.
I don't think it's a Randy with confidence. Well, kind of. I see what you mean, but it's one of those things where it's like this person specifically, and I know Zoe's met a lot of Randys. I've met a lot of Daniels in my day too.
I've met
where
a
it's
Daniel.
like you're just being very. You're being. I said this to you before we started recording, Kayla. I said this is a person that online says whatever they want and says really edgy stuff and hangs out with people that are very edgy. But once you get in a situation where you say that shit in real life, it's awkward. And everybody's like, hello, what are you talking about? Like it's like all that internet speak. It reminds me of a tweet I saw off kilter, random tangent about the Chibi review situation. Kayla, you don't know what we're talking about, but Zoe knows what we're talking about. Basically, this like online anime like grifter character who nobody likes online came out with a video saying that his wife cheated on him, his fiance cheated on him, and his friends. All the friends knew about it, and the fiance ended up leaving him for the person she cheated on. Oh, and the person was his best friend. Was his friend. Was his best friend.
I mean, ain't it always? But horrible.
But so the thing is, with the culture with the group of people that he's kind of cultivated online, there's a tweet that says like, you get an online racist or anime fan mad online, and they start talking like Sephiroth, and it's like. That's literally like it's kind of the same thing where he's just very much like trying to be super edgy, but it doesn't translate in real life as opposed to being online. Like him saying the F word every 2 words because he's trying to be super edgy and doesn't have the social range to not swear in front of people. Him saying the N word and the R slur. Him saying the N word twice and the R slur.
Yeah.
It's
twice
also
in a row and with his full chest.
It's also
not even like whispering
this thing of like, yes, he is trying to be edgy, but also he's trying to differentiate himself from like quote unquote regular nerds. Like,
Correct.
I'm a nerd, but also that guy's my N word. Oh, but I didn't say the hard R. I'm cool. Like literally, that's him going like, I didn't say the hard R. I just said A.
You have to still accept me because he sees her back up, and he's like, well, don't take it like that. Don't take it the way you perceived it.
When he says that, I paused the show. I had to sit there for like 2 minutes because I'm like, because it's like it's one of those things where like that specific thing where somebody says, oh, that's my nigga. Oh wait, that's not what I mean. Like, I said it with the A, not the R. Like that phrasing specifically is something I've heard for a decade.
Years, I'm sure.
Your G has to be harder. Because I have to commend the actor. They picked a perfect person who can't say
Yes.
anything naturally.
Yeah.
Right. He's great.
Yeah.
He was like he did that part perfectly. And
Yeah.
something I was saying offline or off recording to Kayla, I was just like, because we were talking about like the people that aren't black that say it, and I was like, it's funny. Like in my me saying it 30 seconds ago is the third time I've said it on the podcast.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't say it that much to be in a situation where it's like, even in front of like just either family members or like other friends like Jordan, Queese, all them, right?
Yeah.
I just don't say it that much. But for some reason, non-black people that say it so much to try to prove to you that they can say it. I'm like, bro,
right.
it's first off, you don't sound natural. They sound like you're trying to like. It sounds like it's like a forced part of your vernacular.
Yep.
And two, it's like you've said it 6 times in the last 5 minutes. I haven't said it once. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's just, but
Yeah.
he was really, really good as Daniel. And then I felt so bad for Toki like the entire episode, because she's just in this situation where she's has such social anxiety that she has no idea what's going on. Like Daniel takes her to like the hotel room, and it's like a bunch of drugged out folks watching Beyblade, and then he tries to like force her to drink alcohol and force her to smoke weed too.
Yes.
With the dab pen. It was just like, it's just a whole storm of issues. I do want to talk about Kayla when she has that flashback to seeing those people. And this is where the BoJack Horseman, or like even like some kind of Twin Peaks a little bit too, like stuff comes into play.
The way
with the bathroom scene, dude. Another bathroom. No, go ahead.
The way that I have to commend the filmmaking. The way they do the flashback is so fucking good, and the way to explain it to people who haven't seen and just decided to listen to this without watching. She is remembering a time at her day job where she is going to the back to find something, and she finds 2 employees hooking up. And then she starts imagining tentacles wrapping around them. And for a low budget online,
it was well done.
It was awesome. It was really, really good. Okay, continue.
And but to continue on that, I love like going back to the filmmaking and how this show is written. They mention like when she's on the dating game thing, and she goes, contestant number 2, what do you like? He goes, oh, anything with tentacles.
Yeah.
And for that line, that line to be like, oh, it's like a funny little line, like dude's being weird, to then come back and be like, oh, she's actually into tentacles.
Right.
Is crazy. But also like, Kayla, you were like, I really feel for Toki. I relate to her a lot. And then that comes up. But I'm also like, hey, as the resident monster fucker on this podcast.
Correct. So here's the thing, especially when it comes to like people who like monsters and tentacles specifically. It's always the sigh of 1,000 suns. And they keep saying it throughout the show, but it's like, because we love Japan, and then it's Japan, and I'm speaking Japanese, and doodly-doo. And obviously, like, I also love Japan. I also love Japanese. I try to know a few words, because eventually I want to go. But there's this weird thing when someone... It's a form of escapism, which they're all experiencing, which all con-goers experience. Anyone who loves Halloween, hi, I'm talking to myself. When you get to like be somebody else or leave your brain for a little bit by picking up this persona of like an anime weeb, it's almost like in the show they're showing you that these characters are disassociating to the point of like deniability. Like, oh, that wasn't me. Not really. That was Toki. It wasn't Kristen. It was Toki who was watching y'all being she was being a pervert by watching them without their consent. And then daydreaming on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they use tentacles, tentacle porn is such like a big thing in the monster community, but you don't really see that a lot because it's not people who are just obsessed with like Japanese culture.
Mm-hmm.
We're into all the animals. Every animal gets equal rights. I want to see bugs. I want to, like it's all that jazz. Bugs immediately because of Mothman. But
Yeah.
I still felt for her because not that I wasn't considered the quiet kid in high school by any means. But I would shut up sometimes and I would sit down and I would draw and people would watch me draw and I felt validated by those drawings. And then I wouldn't have to talk to people because then I realized, oh my God, sometimes I could sit back, not be the clown girl, and I could just draw, and other people could do their thing, and I can go off into my la la land. So I felt bad for her because clearly that's the way she connects with people, but it's also keeping her from connecting with people. Like that's why she wasn't good at her job because she's drawing, and why, she wouldn't even stay behind for her friend who got into an accident because she's like, well, I want to go to these contests and things, so I'm leaving you a drawing so you know that I thought about you.
Yeah.
That sort of deal. The show, I'm probably gonna watch it again before like the second season comes out because I feel like I know all of these people, and to some extent I am some of these people, so like I understand, I understand their plight and like what they were going for, or I've been harassed by some of these people.
Oh, there's also that.
Like it's very, and that becomes a part of who you are. Like whenever something like that happens, I can recall every moment. So
yeah. All right, let me cook about Rita. Here we go.
Yeah, ready.
All right, so for those that know about Nostalgia Plus Ultra lore, there is a long, almost 2-hour episode about Neon Genesis Evangelion. We watched the entirety of the show. We watched the end of Evangelion movie, and then all 4 of the Reba movies in 3 days?
It was nuts.
Like a weekend. Yeah, it was insane. And one of my core tenets in that episode, when it came to like the analysis of the characters, was that I have enough media literacy to understand Asuka's character, but I don't like her, like at all. Like she sucks.
Yes.
I think that you're standing. You need to. I think you. Really,
I know I do.
Should.
I know I do. But I understand enough.
Reprise episode.
A reprise where I join in. But I'm listening because I'm intrigued on how they're connected.
Yes. But I was also like, in my head, I was like, okay, like for Asuka specifically, my whole thing was your standing in life and your circumstances, right, do not just allow you to be a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I understand, like, because Asuka's character arc and Asuka's backstory is unbelievably sad. Like, it is very sad, and it like drives a lot of how she interacts with the world. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I understand, and I was like, I fully understand like why she's doing stuff that she's doing, but there are certain situations where like she doesn't need to be an asshole and still chooses to be an asshole. You know, and so I'm like, that's kind of how I saw Rita. And somebody in the comments during her episode, when you look at the comments, someone said Rita is very Asuka coded. Mm-hmm. So I went back and watched the episode from the beginning, and you see a lot of the same kind of things where she's very much like me. This has to be about me. Nobody else really matters. Basically overreacting, which essentially causes Mari's car crash in the beginning of the story, and then you have that flashback where you understand, okay, she might have like, I think you said off air, like bipolar or some sort of mental disorder where like you see the cuts in her head,
taking antipsychotic meds.
Okay, there you go. Antipsychotic. Okay, so it's some. I didn't read it. I was just like, but from when her dad hugs her, or her caretaker hugs her, and is like, I know that's not you, because she was stabbing her head with a knife.
Yeah.
That is a mental illness of you leaving your body. Like, you are not in control. So it's either a like heavy depression or schizophrenia, because those, you can have episodes like when she starts trying to walk home from the con, or try to find her hotel from the con, and she just like gives up because she just can't remember where she is. She could be thinking that she is home. Like, we don't know. Like, I want to talk about that episode once you finish your analogy.
Yeah. So to kind of like to shorten it a little bit, basically Asuka and Rita operate in this hold of like very egocentric kind of ideology where it's all me, and you are trying to prove or show that you matter, you belong outside of like what, like how people attempt to dictate how your life is supposed to be, right? Because it could just be a situation where like people are trying to give you good advice, but you're like, nah, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just gonna do what I want to do specifically, right? Like when Spencer asks her, Rita, like, hey, we probably should be staying with Mari because she's critically injured, and she's like, no, I'm doing this skit because I want to show everybody that my character, my cosplay, I want to do these things. Then you get into, and I don't know how far you've gone into Evangelion, Kayla, but the elevator scene is literally straight out of Evangelion. It is Rei and Asuka in the elevator, and if you know about Evangelion, you know that elevator scene happens multiple times throughout the show, especially when you get to like the Rebuild series movies too, where different outcomes happen depending on which part of Evangelion you're watching. So like in the original, like the show, Asuka just absolutely just rips into Rei for no reason, like and like gets in Rei, since she's like not really a human, doesn't really understand human emotions for real, like she just kind of takes it and just walks out, like just doesn't really say anything, but Asuka just lays into her. And you have that same situation with Rita and Toki, where Rita is like calling her useless and saying, you guys suck and you guys are all this and I'm doing this and boom boom, and so you get that. Then you find out exactly like why she's behaving the way that she does, especially when you have this traumatic moment where her wig falls and you see the spots in her hair and she pauses and freezes anxiety. Kind of similar to like Asuka having this, I can't remember exactly what episode it was, but something happens to her and she recalls those memories again of what happened to her mom and dad, what happened to her mom, and why she had to feel like she had to grow up and mature faster than most people and that kind of stuff. So you get these scenes with Rita that mirror Asuka in that regard, where like they're very similar characters in how they approach the world and stuff. But yeah, you can go on Rita's actual episode. I think her not having her medication is what led to that ending part where she's walking.
100%. 100%. But so the only thing that I want to bring up, because I'm sure that Andre has thoughts on this episode too, but the one thing that I was terrified about this entire episode is the fact that when she meets that other random girl, who at this point, I don't know if she's real. Don't know if that girl was actually real.
Yeah.
She could have just been imagining her because she's on antipsychotics.
Yep.
Or whatever drug that she was on.
Oh my god.
But the other thing is, when I initially saw her, I was like, oh my god, is this a character that's going to take advantage of a singular child who's alone at a convention with a bag? And every single time, like, it was horrible the entire time I kept thinking it. But then at the end, when she's walking the streets and cars keep passing her, I'm like, oh my god, a car's gonna stop. A car's gonna stop. They're gonna take this little girl.
One slowed down, and I
one slowed down,
and my heart was like, "Oh shit!"
my heart was pounding because this girl doesn't have a phone. Her parents don't know where she is. She's by herself without psychotics, and even then, I didn't know it was psychotics at the beginning. I'm like, without her medication, an array of things could be happening to her, whatever mental illness it was. But when, like, you kept seeing it from the other girl's perspective of, oh, she doesn't even know I'm here. But but Rita is talking to herself and like posing by herself. I'm like, that girl's not real. That girl's not real, and she's by herself, and she's gotten lost at a whole new location, and no one can get her.
You know what?
It broke my heart to watch her, because like, it's weird when you get older and you start like connecting with characters differently. I connect to her as if I was her mother, even though I have no children. I'm like, oh my god, if my child was out in the streets and I didn't know that she was out in the streets for a night, what do you do? What do you do in that moment? So me dio, see, that gave me acid reflux, bro. I was just like, oh, get me out. Let me get in the screen.
It's nuts because like every other character specific episode has some sort of supernatural like element to it.
A little bit.
Or like something like that breaks reality a little bit. Like Randy having the Undertale scene, which is cool. Toki having the tentacle thing. Spencer having the manga panels show up when he's trying to find trying to find Rita. And it's funny, like when I was thinking about it, I was like, Rita's is the only normal, just straight on episode. And then she said that she's not real. Oh god.
Well, because I thought the same. I thought the same thing because she's like not dressed up, and like even the girl that Randy fights in the tournament is kind of like, she's in attire. She's not like in a costume. She's in some like, you could tell this is like some normal looking girl, and she randomly like, hey, let's hang out, and they have the best time ever. After Rita has shown so many signs of like, oh, why does everything in my life suck? I hate being a girl. I hate being this. I hate being that.
Right.
And then just that's randomly Oscar coded. That's Oscar coded for sure. Like, why am I'm an adult. I need to grow up. Like, adults don't do this. That's the same thing. And then
randomly
the part also mentioning her period being more painful, and she's like, oh my god, I keep like, and
and then randomly just having the best time ever and falling in love. And what tips me off is the fact that whoever this girl was ends up calling her super magical enchantress Rita-chan instead of just Rita. It's like she's not it's not only that they had a good time, it's that she's following all of Rita's whims.
Right.
Bro, that makes way more sense now. Holy shit. My god, I missed that.
Now, one other thing that I want to talk about that I don't know if you guys like caught on, or not that you caught on because I don't think it's a secret, but so clearly Rita, Toki, and Spencer are, to me, those are high schoolers. Maybe seniors. I don't think they're adults. I think Randy and the one who got into the car accident were full-on adults. And one met because of an old con or whatever, because they don't mention meeting him at school, none of that. But Mari is one of those situations when in the last episode that I'm like, oh my goodness, this is a person who has not grown up since high school, has not made adult friends. So she is regressing into being childlike, and that's why she in the beginning and at the end is very much like, we all have to be together, we all have to be nice, we all have to get along, because this is her only family, especially because she's the only one who like has a car, albeit a bunked up one, like it's a messed up car, but she's the only real adult. Like Randy gets money from his mom, I'm sure, living in her basement, but I think she's the only real adult, and these are her only friends. And the psychotic breakdown that she's about to have now that none of her friends stayed with her at her side when she woke up, or that she thinks that they're dead, because she didn't see the card, the drawing, because Spencer took it. So either she thinks they're dead because the doctors have not come back in, or she feels like she's been left alone. and that's why she's hallucinating Hatsune Miku being her bedpan.
Yeah, and she's the one with the worst. Like, she calls everyone Spencer-kun and Toki-chan.
Yes, it's
like,
the most. It's this. It's a lot of, for those who aren't watching this. It's a lot of holding on so desperately to what she thinks will keep them. It's a possessiveness.
Which is exactly the issue that Spencer's dealing with in his episode of like, this used to be the greatest time of my life and now I'm not having fun anymore. And like his favorite author is telling him like, that's what growing up is, man. It sucks, but you gotta grow up.
Yeah.
And that's why he's Shinji.
Yeah,
that's why he's Shinji.
Right. He's having to come to terms with it. I at least know that.
Not to the point where like because Shinji's character arc is a whole other conversation. But like he definitely shows signs of like more Shinji coded actions with like, this isn't fun anymore. I want to make sure like I have this like existential crisis I'm going through. Like when he asked the manga creator like, why are you still alive every day? It's a heavy question to ask.
Yeah, he said, how do you stay alive?
Yeah, that's a crazy question, and it's like, well, I think the manga, the webtoon comic creator, he answers it like, I think he gave a great answer. Like the writing in the show is great, with just being like, okay, well, like when I do stuff I'm passionate about, it makes me happy. That's really all it boiled down to.
Yeah.
Then he ruins it by saying you can jerk off to one of those female characters. But
yeah, I was like, literally the moment of like your heroes letting you down, again, reiterating the fact that like your childhood, that whimsy is actively over. You know what I mean? But we've been like talking about the escapism of cons and anime culture and even like video game culture. It's all escapism, and especially in this day and age, people have always felt like they're outside the lines, and you know, there have always been people who feel outcast, and cons and video games and special interests are what bond us together, and you do sometimes have to suspend my feet in reality so you can just enjoy the thing every single time. Great example, when people make fun of Disney adults. I know there's a man in that mouse.
Yeah.
I'm ignoring that. Well, yeah, there's a little man in that mouse. I'm ignoring that for a second because I just want to be with Mickey Mouse. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a moment. Yeah. It doesn't last very long because when I walk away, I'm like, I wonder what that person looks like. I wonder how much they're sweating. And I know it's a person, but there's this, like, I need to just be away for 2 seconds, even if just, like, when you're in the land itself, right? Like, there's this, like, whimsy that comes about it. And Spencer talks about it being like, I started wearing my ears to school, and people called me the F word, but I don't care because it was fun for me. Yeah. He's just trying to connect to that last bit of, like, whimsy that we get when we get older.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, and he's like, yeah, growing up, you start to lose a little bit of it, or just like he makes the reference of like Spider-Man. He's like, well, none of us have great power; we just have responsibility now. And it's just like you gotta find stuff to keep you passionate about, about life and in general. And so, like, definitely my favorite episode of the whole thing was Spencer's, just because given the situation that happens to any of these characters, I feel like I saw like I would be Spencer in that situation, like trying to keep people together, but just having this like this feeling of like this pessimism, like I want to keep these people together, but it's just not working. And I know it's not going to work because these people are just irrational to deal with. And so it's like very, that's why I loved Spencer's character just in that regard or whatever. But yeah, his was good. Can we talk about the Japanese English speaking in the first episode real quick because I just need. It's because honestly,
Mari senpai.
Having seen this and then sending Zoe, I sent Zoe a tweet where this one Japanese person on Twitter was like, apparently the Americans are mixing in English with their Japanese, and he mentions the phrase "sarimasen" or "gomena sorry."
Yeah.
Wait, I think I have some of those memes saved on my phone. Wait, keep going. But I've sent it as a reaction to y'all before.
I wish I could find them, but like I can't see if did I save them in the.
Oh my god! Don't wait. When Toki tells Spencer, the doctor said she'll be daijobu. I was like, dude, you need to.
After that.
He goes.
He says,
traumatic brain injury isn't daijobu, Toki.
Yeah, he says.
Right.
He said, what part of severe brain trauma is daijobu?
Yeah. Which is a if this was a movie on Letterboxd, that would be the quote I put on my review.
That's the one for sure.
What is this thing?
It's
and then she responds with like, "Well, I guess." What I mean is her not being dead is daijobu.
Yes.
Right, yes.
So the thing is, yes, this show is really bleak and really dark and really but the writing is very funny.
Yeah, it's witty. Very punchy.
Ariga thanks goes much. I'm sorry.
Ariga thanks is crazy.
Ariga thanks goes
Rita hits them once with, "You're not my senpai or my dad."
And I'm like, bro, come on, man.
Listen, we don't see it. I mean, yes, we still see it now with Japanese culture, but like a lot of people in the past few years have done that because of K-pop. They're speaking and using Korean slang.
Saranghei.
Yeah, saranghayo. Sarangnabida.
Oh god.
But like, I feel like this is the thing. There's this guy on TikTok where he's like, if we romanticized Mexican culture the way that we do Japanese culture, and he would do things like, "Oh, don't mind me, I'm just watching my novelas."
Yeah.
Yes, novelas. En mi televisión. And it's people just being so obsessed with a culture that they want to like integrate, right?
Yes.
And then some people take it to the extreme where they're like, I identify as Korean, and you're like, you can't identify as another culture.
A nationality, yes.
I don't want soup.
Yes.
I'll have my sopa.
Exactly. I'll have my sopa.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at these online. Literally, I found the tweet. Someone said, people who keep coming up with brain-rotted made-up words like "sarimasen" or "ariga thanks." What is wrong with you?
Correct.
Someone said, "Shoto a second, Nani the fuck, and Gomena sorry."
But to end this on a happy note, I will say, I enjoyed when I heard them saying like their nicknames and like saying things in Japanese, because here's the thing. Andre, shut up 1 second. It's just a part of growing up. Most of them are teenagers, okay? The majority, 3 out of 5. And you have to be cringe to grow. Like, I truly believe that, like, obviously, you have to continue to grow and realize, oh, I'm not Japanese. I don't gotta say these things. But we must go back to the ancient text. We must be cringe to be where we are now. It goes back to everything. Like, little girls now doing full face of makeup and using makeup with retinol in it when their skin is still fresh and clean and glass. You must go to the ancient text of going to Claire's, getting a facial scrub that is nothing but water, and a lip smacker in cherry flavor, and that's all you get. Okay?
Cherry Skittle.
Cherry Skittle, and you have to have the little earrings that have the gummy spikes on them because you think you're cool, and it's as close as you're gonna get to gauges. You must be cringe so that you can grow into a fun adult. Okay, like, and anime conventions and gaming conventions and all these things allow you to do that. We just want you to do it safely, and we want you to be able to keep your individuality, but also I need you to have a real job. I need you to be able to have many friends and not just live on Discord. I want all these things for all of us because it's just, life is so short. So be cringe and everything will be daijobu. You know? It's okay. It's okay. I don't speak like that anymore, but it is fun because every time I do something, Andre's like, my skin!
Yeah. It was just like one of those things where and just to kind of wrap this up, is like the way in which they present everything, like for a web series, the writing, cinematography, special effects are like peak phenomenal. And I think it's does such a great job of like setting you up for something and then immediately just flipping it on its head with some of the more visceral, like surreal things that happens to the characters.
Yeah.
And so in like episode 1, like I told Caleb before we started recording, I was like, I did not think this was going to go like this, because
same.
You open up with like Mari calling everybody with Chan or Kun or San with the honorifics, and then like treating them a certain way, listening to the like blasting Vocaloid on the way down the road, and like trying to get Spencer's attention when he has the headphones in, picking Toki up off the ground, like Toki-san, and picking her off the ground like the really just
a little
cringy
ragdoll.
stuff. Really cringy stuff. And then obviously like the Chris Chan thing with him, and then like with Randy walking on the steps and like talking back to his mom when he's leaving, and just stuff like that, where you get the sense it's going to be some sort of like cringe comedy where like you're just sitting there like fucking tense the entire time. But
it is very much BoJack Horseman. Like you smacked it on the head.
Punch.
Yeah.
It hits you with a gut punch out of nowhere, and you're like, you think it's gonna be funny in the end of the first episode where you're like, oh, they're fighting in the car, ha 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 ha, they almost crashed their whip, boom, and you're like, oh, Mari might be dead.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, okay, this is what it's gonna be. And so it just gets in these very heavy moments that mixes in with the humor well. Like even the elevator scene with Rita and Toki, where the guy with the wings is behind them, and Randy ends up like farts in his face and like traps him in there. Or like the ending credit scene where the guy with the wings using the bathroom and the people can't get the bathroom next to him.
Oh, I loved the panel of like ships versus land ships versus airships, and then the guy's like, land ships rule, and it's like one guy at the panel, and I'm like, that's so real, bro. I love going to an empty panel. I want to learn. It's very fun.
So I mean, it's just stuff like that. I think if you listen to this podcast and then haven't seen it, go watch it, and then hopefully people that are coming to the episode have watched it before. But if I had to give it a letterbox rating, it's a 5 out of 5 for me. I don't know about y'all, but it's
I would say 4. 4. It's a 4 for me.
Yeah, I think a 4 is like, I couldn't give this a 5 because the rewatchability is a big thing for me, and watching this again, I've admitted I'm gonna watch it again because I have to like reabsorb it, but it is gonna hurt me again because I was depressed at the beginning of this episode.
Yeah, I can say, okay, I'll 5, maybe 4.5, because the dude said the N-word twice. So we're just
right.
There was 2 N-words, an F slur and an R slur. And so we're I don't know, but it was 2017. It was 2017.
But it's also in the way that they used it, though. It's not really Quentin Tarantino writing himself a character to say the N-word. It's like they are highlighting struggles and an issue in the culture.
Correct.
Yes, for sure.
Correct.
Do you have Zoe? Do you want to list off your albums for the 1001 before we sign off?
Sure. I've had a lot this week. I've been on it. I texted you the other day. I got B by Common. Classic.
B by B.
Kanye West doing 5 beats a day for 3 summers.
Yeah.
Awesome. I got a Willie Nelson album, which I thought, Willie Nelson. It blows my mind. We're going to get political here. It blows my mind that conservatives were like, Willie Nelson. Like, they just ride for Willie Nelson. Motherfucker, this guy smokes weed, and that's black music. Don't ever talk about Willie ever again. it's country music, but there's like horns and like listening to this, I was like, I cannot believe people who like country music claim this. No, you can't talk about Whitley no more. And I also got a blues album from a Malian artist, an African blues album, which was fucking fantastic. From fantastic. From Mali, it was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I also listened to that album. You sent it to me. It definitely, like, not to just be like, oh, comparing one thing to a modern thing, but like if you've seen Sinners, you're gonna love this album.
Oh, M said the same thing, that it sounds like Sinners.
Yeah, it's a great album. I'll just recommend one real quick. If you are a fan of D'Angelo, the R&B artist, you should listen to what is his name? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh God, it's happening.
You should listen to Gabriel Jacoby. He has an album or an EP or album called Gutter Child. He's from Tampa. Real, like, he has that high-pitched kind of twang in his voice. It's like a real southern R&B type thing, and if you like D'Angelo, he kind of has that same sort of like punchiness to his songs. So you should definitely check him out if you like that sort of thing. Kayla, you got anything else? You good?
I don't have music, but I did watch for the first time Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem and last night, and it was great.
Yes.
The designs of the characters they're well thought out. They're just like, the people in the background are god awful ugly people, but that's like a style choice, and I'm fine with that because you should be allowed to make people ugly. The actual art is scrumdiddlyumptious. It's delicious. Every light source, every layer, every texture is so good, and I can't believe it took me this long to watch it. It was great, and it just got me really excited for Spider-Man coming out next year in 2027. So I'm more of the artists doing whatever they want in animation to dictate like the space so that you can really feel like you're in it. More of that. So yeah, it was really cool. Other than that, music, I just listen to my regular clown music. You know how I do.
I love music. My freaky little turtle boys.
Yeah.
They're great.
That movie's great. Okay, so go listen to those albums. Go watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem.
Go watch 2Kawaii for Comfort.
2Kawaii for Comfort is,
and comment on here what hurt you the
number
most.
2Kawaii for Comfort. Great show. Go check it out because they're supposed to be coming out with new episodes. It's going to be animated at some point in time in the near future because they announced it on their Twitter account. So go check that out. I've been Taylor, as told by Zoe. Okay, that's everything. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Sayonara.